It was first reported by our good friends at Schmoes Know that Kick-Ass 2 director Jeff Wadlow will be taking over writing and directing duties for the upcoming He-Man Masters of the Universe movie. G.I. Joe Retaliation director John M. Chu had recently stepped away from helming the project, while Lone Ranger writer Terry Rossio's original script now will be rewritten by Wadlow. Christian, what is your take on Jeff Wadlow taking over as director for a He-Man movie?
Hey, I know those guys who broke that story. Look, as far as Wadlow, when I heard the news, it all depends again on take. I didn't love Kick-Ass 2. I know a lot of people really enjoyed it. I didn't think it had the same kind of magic that the Matthew Vaughn first one had. So as long as Wadlow approaches it from the Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings feel and give it like you can't. I don't want a silly He-Man. I want the mythology. It's something that really could work if it's done in that fantastical way. I want that kind of feel, and if Jeff Wadlow has that kind of take, I'm curious, but I'm not excited yet.
Roth?
It's funny because, and give me a little background on this, because what
Yeah.
I read was that he wasn't locked down to direct, that he was writing it, but that Mike Cahill, who directed Another Earth, was also being considered to direct.
No, then that was what. Apparently, right now they didn't want to release it. All the information we had heard from someone very, very, very close to it who says it's done. They haven't announced it.
That Wadlow's doing it.
It's done.
That's unfortunate, because not that I dislike Jeff Wadlow. I'm not saying that. It's more, I agree with you. I was thinking, well, Mike Cahill. I don't know if you guys have seen Another Earth, but man, that would be an interesting take to do He-Man. You know. It would probably be more of what you're talking about, where it would be an approach of a grounded sort of fantastical, like they would take it seriously, which I think you have to do one or the other. You have to either just be silly, or you have to really like buy into this world and execute it very well. And I think that's I think He-Man's a tough balance. I think that Kick-Ass 2 was a very fragmented, disjointed movie. It wasn't as good as the first one. I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
There was stuff I really
still enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Not as good as the first,
Right.
but I still liked it.
And I don't want to judge him off just that, because again, Kick-Ass 2 calls for that kind of humor.
Yeah.
It does. It calls for that. I mean, it's just the nature of the material. So again, I want to see where they go with it, because there's two versions of the He-Man franchise. There's the first comic, the first cartoon that came out in the '80s that was very silly, that people have made.
The one I watched.
The one I watched as well.
My screenwriting teacher created that
Really?
in college. Yeah.
Interesting.
Is he rolling in the dough now?
I know.
Well, obviously
We'll see.
not, since he was my screenwriting teacher.
But that's back before they actually got licensing rights.
Yeah. Well, but they
royalties.
released one on the Cartoon Network. I think it was like 2002, where they went more with the approach of the more serious, and more mythology into it, and how Skeletor came to be and why, and it was really cool. And a lot of people didn't really see that. If you can find those episodes, you should, because you'll get more excited for it. If they go that approach, and if Wadlow has that type and approaches it that way, then yeah, I could be excited for it.
Well, Wadlow was also rumored to be the director for X-Force as well, and so I don't know if this takes him out of contention, or if X-Force is way down the line so that that's not a consideration.
I mean, that's a good question. I feel like X-Force probably is a little further down the line than initially believed. It's funny because, with the tone of Kick-Ass 2, I think part of its problems, if it had, like, I liked it, like you're saying, I enjoyed it, but it did have problems. But that was inherent kind of in the script and being, which we can blame him for too.
Yeah.
And in it being a sequel, you know. But if they went goofy, he could do that. If they went your direction, I don't think he has the right choice. If they're going for a more grounded take,
I personally hope they go goofy and silly.
Why?
I don't know. Just because I enjoyed, they had John M. Chu before, right?
Yeah.
He did G.I. Joe Retaliation. I like the first two G.I. Joe movies because they're off the wall, silly, over the top action, and I feel like they could do that with He-Man.
I'm telling you, the way they open up with Eternia and everything that comes with, again, that 2002 series of the mythology behind it, there is cool, dark stuff going on with the Legend of Grayskull and all. And that Joe Silver had this property for a while and it was on a take from Justin Marks, and they were going down that road. But a lot of studio heads get involved, and it kind of falls to pieces. But that was the tone. I think that you have to go this way, because the way that Eternia is set up, it's like a Middle Earth. It's like that, plus all the sci-fi kind of Star Wars stuff you can get. It's you have so much potential, and I'm excited for it.
I haven't seen that cartoon series, but now you're making me want to
Yeah,
see
You should see it.
Yeah, I'm
You
like,
should see it.
oh
It's
man,
good.
it's gonna be awesome.
It is.
I'm gonna
And then
go-
I'm gonna text you later. I'm like, this sucks.
No, you won't. I
Okay.
guarantee you won't. You'll like it.
Now I'm gonna watch it. I want to know when we're gonna see a Thundercats movie.
That one I can do without.
You're crazy. It would be so
Cat people
awesome.
coming this fall.
It would be so amazing. Go watch the live action Thundercats YouTube pitch. Go watch it.
Brad Pitt.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.